Okay, so our next speaker, and our final speaker, is a young man who's going to be a senior this year at Urbana High School. I actually first met him, like officially, had the first conversation with him when he was in 8th grade. And I was assistant superintendent. I was coming to the Young Authors Celebration. I don't remember where it was that year. It was over at the new Art Center on campus. And I was excited because that was the year that I had just moved to Urbana. And I was literally moving like that week of Young Authors. And it meant that my kids were going to be in Urbana schools, which is something that I wanted for a long time. And I met this young man, and I'd recognized his name from a number of things that he had done in elementary school. And I knew that he was like a returning young author year after year. And it was so funny because he comes up to me and he says, "Hi." He goes, "I hear you're going to be my new neighbor." And it was like the best welcome from a student into the Urbana community that I could have gotten. Well, it turns out not only neighbor, but literally like across the street. So I've actually gotten to watch a student from afar go through his high school career, in part because he's so busy. 5 a.m., he's walking out the door, he's carrying a backpack, there's water, and he's usually dribbling a soccer ball. The next time that I got to really see him academically was at the academic monogram night. Let's see, it would have been 2 years ago. He would have been a sophomore, and he was one of the people that gave a speech, and I was just floored. He hit it. And so he was also when I started emailing his mom and emailing him, "Can you do this? Do you think you're around? Can you get out of soccer practice that day?" And he said, "Sure, but I need to be in Ireland for the next week, a family vacation." And so I was offline on my family reunion, he was offline on his family vacation. And so literally it wasn't until like yesterday or the day before, it was yesterday, that we sat down and said, "Okay, what you got?" And I was blown away, as I was with all the students, how passionate they are about being an Urbana student, what that means to them, and how they're seeing that guiding their life. Without further ado, our last speaker, the president of the senior class for Urbana High School this year, is Saul Downie.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Downie. Hopefully he's not too tired of my speech, because I'm sure he could hear me practicing it from across the street all last night. All of my years in the Urbana schools have been memorable. But playing in the state championship last year was something that will stay with me as long as I live. That experience exemplified the unique community that Urbana is and all that it offers to ensure its students have the opportunity to achieve greatness. Throughout the journey, the entire school and community were engaged. Teachers and neighbors, some of whom had probably never watched a soccer game in their lives, congratulated us and provided support. In downtown Urbana, businesses proudly displayed UHS sports posters, and even the local restaurant Milo's provided wonderful meals to make sure we could perform our best. This overwhelming enthusiasm was also present in Urbana residents I met when asking for donations, who were more than willing to offer money and stories about their own children who had played for Coach Blackman 20 years earlier. constant buzz around town was testament to how Urbana schools and their achievements unite and define this community. Reflecting on the journey in the locker room upon our return, I realized how long and how many people had been involved in the making of our success. I remember in the 3rd grade, trash talking with a classmate, Yvonne, on the Leo School playground before a Park District game that night. Never would I have imagined that 8 years later, we would be playing alongside each other in a state championship. The camaraderie and grit of our team carried us to the end. And though we didn't win, we learned valuable life lessons along the way. One of the things we were most proud of was our sportsmanship PA announcement that we were asked to record. We did so in English and in Spanish, the only team. This PA announcement is representative of the Urbana community, full of students with diverse backgrounds, goals, and talents that make it such a stimulating and special place. From the football team's record and the drama department's success with Chicago, to the constant presence of the chess and math teams in their state tournaments, the band and orchestra's participation in top-tier competitions, and all the other amazing clubs and sports, Urbana continually distinguishes itself through its innumerable opportunities for students to excel and achieve greatness. Yet, these achievements wouldn't be possible without you all, the teachers and administrators who create and nurture this environment. It's obvious you truly care about your students' development as scholars and as citizens. The pride you have in what you do is obvious from all the Urbana Tigers shirts and hats you wear, sometimes so frequently I can't imagine you wash them. To your presence at sporting events and other productions, you are dedicated to your students' success. I think of this year when Mr. Davis organized late-night APUT study sessions with pizza to drive his class to competitive AP scores, or the countless hours Ms. Gleason devoted to matting works and organizing the school and AP art shows to ensure every student had the ability to display their works with pride. And there's Mr. Furr and the other guidance officers who slave to find a schedule that works for every kid. They are ever willing to answer questions, make sure each student has the opportunity to reach their full academic potential. This character of compassion and opportunity is evident in the entire community, not just UHS. I frequently return to my alma mater, Leo School, to volunteer. And the excitement and enthusiasm of the teachers there, whether they're teaching about isosceles triangles or Abraham Lincoln, makes me wish I could be in 4th grade again. From young authors to school-wide assemblies featuring U of I ensembles, the chance to push oneself and grow in all ways is there for the taking. In Urbana, it's not just the teachers and administrators who create this inspired environment. It's everyone, from the smiling lunch servers to the charismatic ladies in the attendance office who can cheer you up even if you're going home sick. Even the janitors who do the work we often take for granted that keeps Urbana tidy and a place to be proud of deserve our praise. Now I think back as I start my senior year, and I realize the moments I learned the most were not during lectures, or cramming for tests, but cruising the halls during lunchtime in study hall, when I chatted with my teachers or Coach Blackman, who were always willing to tell their stories, to discuss current events, philosophy, or place in trivia. Peering in the classes during my voyages around school, I witnessed the passion that you all bring to motivate Urbana students. The individuals in this Urbana community go above and beyond to create a caring and compassionate community that is constantly pushing students to be their best, to achieve greatness, and to make this year better than the last. And that is why I am proud to call Urbana home.
You know what? These four just gave you your marching orders, okay? Go out and have a great year.